My name is Abby and I go to Scripps. I work at the Scripps Green Bike Shop and I worked there all of last year and this year as well.
My name's Bailey and I go to Scripps College. I work at the Motley as a barista.
My name is Coco and I go to Scripps.
My name's Lindsay and I go to Scripps.
My name is Camille and I go to Pomona College.
I work at the LASPA Center for Leadership and I've worked there for 2 years.
I work at the Office of Admission at Scripps.
So I work at the library in the SIR department, Systems and Information Resources.
My name is Vivian and I go to Scripps College. I work at Phonathon, which is where we call parents and alumni and we ask them to support the Scripps Fund, which goes to the greatest area of need on campus.
At the bike shop, a typical workday basically involves just fixing any student bikes. We'll talk to them about what's going on with it and then they'll drop it off and we fix it for them.
I work on the marketing and communications team, which means I handle the social media, blog posts, and flyer outreach.
On most days, with our department, it's kind of like the department that is constantly doing different projects in the library. So it's a lot of just like walking around and doing busy work like all over the library.
I basically just make drinks and work at the register.
I basically mostly give tours. I also just help out in the office. My work environment is very calm.
I think the work environment at LASPA is really friendly
And fun, like we play music when we're in there.
I find my work environment very laid back, especially because of the tasks that we're asked to do all the time.
I think a lot of the people I work with are just super kind. I think they just do a great job hiring people. And also students are really nice for the most part. I think the only people who's rude to us are professors or a lot of times it's parents who are visiting with their kids for a tour because they expect a professional setting and we're student workers.
This video relays the experiences of 6 student workers of the Claremont colleges. In a study done by Kim Miller to assess the effects of on-campus jobs on students' health, it was found that lower academic performance and less sleep had a significant association with holding an on-campus job.
In another study by Susan Furr and Theodore Elling, results showed that student workers benefited from on-campus jobs in terms of the development of career-related skills and greater career maturity. Do these results hold true for student workers from the Claremont colleges?
I think that my schedule differs from people who don't have a job, just in that I had to plan my schedule really well this semester.
I think the difference is that there's a set 7.5 hours of my week that I can't be doing something else. Whether that's homework or going to an event, those 7.5 hours don't just affect the time I'm actually those 7.5 hours, but they'll affect later. If I can't do work during that time, I obviously have to do work at another time.
My friends who don't have on-campus jobs will think that they have too much free time or it's just they have way more time to get their work done than I do.
Sometimes when I would be in my room doing homework, I'll have to leave for an hour and go to work for a shift, but it's not too bad.
But it definitely does make it slightly more difficult to get everything done that I need to do. I just kind of build that into my schedule as something that's there and I have to just manage my time around that.
I am working almost every night or I have choir, so I just don't have really any nights free, so I just need to budget my time a little bit differently. I have a spreadsheet on my computer that's these are the times that I'm doing each thing, and I have 1 hour free every day, or no hours free some days. I just have a lot of other friends who are always asking do homework or hang out, and I'm ooh, no.
And I feel work really takes up, eats up most of my free time actually. All the places where I don't have something else, I've put work in there.
I don't think that work necessarily interferes with school. I think they're really understanding at the Motley about if you need a shift cover, if you're I have a final that's coming up, can somebody please take my shift? People will take it.
Once in a while, I'll have an assignment I really need to do that I would be doing during that hour, so I have to just really hope that no one comes to the tour that day or my partner will be able to do it.
I don't get home from work until 9 p.m. and so if I haven't been able to do homework earlier in the day, then I'm starting my homework at 9, and that means going to bed a lot later.
The times that I could be like getting work done in the library and actually like working in the library for the library. You know, it's kind of ironic.
I'm a manager at the bike shop this year, so I have other responsibilities involved, like going to meetings with my supervisor and like communicating with my staff, which kind of just adds like a to-do, like adds onto my to-do list, just because also I have ADHD, so it's hard for me to like keep all of these things in my head.
I have kind of found that like because I'm working, I don't do a lot of clubs. I think I'm probably more tired and I just like already feel like I'm doing something on campus. So I like signed up for a ton of clubs and like didn't do any of them freshman year.
I'm involved in kind of all the extracurriculars that I want to be, so I would say it would keep me from exploring more things because I don't really have the time for it.
I would say it adds to my educational experience because time management is very important, and you're just kind of, when you have time commitments, it does kind of force you to learn.
I've gained a lot of valuable skills because like before I worked at the bike shop, I probably knew very, very little about fixing bikes.
The biggest benefit of working is just like greater, like improving your financial stability. Like I'm getting money, like that's good.
My public speaking skills have improved a lot more since I started working there. I was like terrible at public speaking in high school and I hated speaking like to groups.
Since I'm talking on the phones the whole time and you never really know who you're gonna get, I've definitely learned how to, deal with difficult people. And even though, I don't want to be a caller my whole life, I think, you can use that in every job, just, how to deal with customers and how to deal with issues in the workplace.
I've learned a lot of problem solving skills too, because like I didn't always, like I wasn't taught how to do every single fix on a bike, so like sometimes I have to do something like just thinking about like how do I fix this, or like looking at YouTube videos and just like self-teaching.
I've learned a lot about like using tone in writing to portray certain levels of professionalism as opposed to like certain levels of friendliness.
My confidence has gotten a little bit better, just like how to have a conversation, how to be professional.
Although working an on-campus job can create many positive opportunities for all students, the intersection of being a woman and a worker can alter how one is treated at the workplace by others.
Male professors will like think that they know how to make drinks better than us, and we're like, you're not a barista, like I'm so sorry.
Sometimes parents on tours can be kind of harsh, especially like the dads on Scripps tours. They're really questionable about women's colleges and stuff like that, so sometimes you'll get kind of rude questions. It's like pretty common for dads to be like, oh, a women's college, why would that be helpful? Like, don't you feel like you're missing like experiences from the real world? And so you'll have to kind of explain it.
I've had people like, the certain thing of like people just like over explaining things, like as men tend to do that.
Obviously, I feel like the dream is to not have to work, but I do interesting things. It's not just like a job where I just stand and push buttons or something. I do like intellectually stimulating things. So I'm like glad that I have that. But sometimes it does feel like I wish I had more time in the day.